Coming up on this edition of Bearkat Student Media News, there is a new Texas law that has many college students questioning why a university department is being dissolved.
Also, students gathered for the big game. Find out where and who they were rooting for.
Live from the Dan Rather Communications Building on the campus of Sam Houston State University, this is Channel 7 News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hunter King.
And I'm Fatima Purcell. Welcome to Bearkat Student Media News.
Sam Houston State has a new Vice President for Student Affairs. University President Dr. Elisa White named Danny Moore to the position. Moore currently serves as Vice President for Student Affairs at Eastern Kentucky University and is a 20-year veteran in that area.
White says Moore will focus on the university's strategic priorities for student success and elevating the reputation and visibility of SHSU. He replaces Dr. Drew Miller, who has been serving in that role on an interim basis. Moore will begin his new role on July 1st. The Center for Diversity and Intercultural Affairs on the Sam Houston State campus is gone due to a new Texas law.
Bearkat Student Media's Sarah Johnson tells us the story.
Senate Bill 17 bans all diversity, equity, and inclusion offices from publicly funded universities. The law was signed by Governor Greg Abbott in June and went into effect at the beginning of this year. The office was filled with professional staff and student workers who had to find a new place to work.
Those positions were eliminated, but after staff had already left. The students in those areas, some have graduated, but those students were given the opportunity to be hired in a newly developed office that Student Affairs decided to create after the elimination of the Center for Diversity and Intercultural Affairs.
The student workers went to the Community and Civic Responsibility Office. The CCR helps students be better civically engaged and get a sense of belonging. The CCR office is located in the Lowman Student Center in Suite 315, which is where the Center for Diversity and Intercultural Affairs office used to be. Even though the Center for Diversity and Intercultural Affairs office is gone, there are still resources for students on campus.
Student organizations were not part of this legislation. So student organizations can still host programming that are related to diversity, equity, inclusion, and still utilize resources and guest speakers to be able to bring that to campus. And so there's still options. I think a lot of it is awareness on what can be done and what can't be done, and that students still have a place to go regardless of not having a DEI office.
In Huntsville, Sarah Johnson, Bearkat Student Media.
Janine Bias now serves as the SHSU Chief Experience Officer.
According to the university's website, the Experience Office, quote, welcomes a wide range of backgrounds and experiences, evaluates fairness and even chances, and fosters a purposefully welcoming learning, living, and working atmosphere at Sam Houston State University. The director of the U.S. Census Bureau paid a visit to Sam Houston State last week, and Robert Santos sat down with broadcast journalism student and my co-anchor Hunter King and talked about his role at the Bureau. They discussed how census data is collected, how the Bureau uses it to make informed decisions, and more. Santos is a statistician by trade.
His career spans more than 40 years in survey research, statistical design and analysis, and executive-level management. Santos started his role at the head of the Census Bureau in January of 2022 after he was nominated by President Biden and confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Santos was born in San Antonio. The biggest game of the year had millions saddled up next to the TV last Sunday.
Here at the university, Sam Houston State's Kat Klub hosted a Super Bowl watch party.
We're passing this story to Bearkat Student Media's Hannah Pogson for more.
Super Bowl LVIII could be seen on every TV screen inside the Kat Klub on Sunday. It was a prime spot for students to watch the game in safety. And enjoy some free food. They even had enough to pocket for later. So, who is everyone cheering for during the big game?
I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I am rooting for the Chiefs today.
I'm rooting for both.
I am also rooting for the Chiefs today.
I'm also rooting for the Chiefs.
I'm pretty sure everyone here is rooting for the Chiefs today.
I am rooting for the San Francisco 49ers.
Rooting for the Chiefs.
Not everyone came to watch football. Some students played Uno and others tackled homework. Still others bowled or played pool. The game was shown on multiple screens stacked together, so no one was blocked from seeing the game. The students also huddled together for halftime. The workers ushered the students in with their iPad check-in system. The event left the students saying, "Oh snap, we are all receivers today." Oh, and in case you live under a rock or just absolutely don't care about football, the Chiefs beat the 49ers in overtime, 25-22. From the Kat Klub, I'm Hannah Pogson, Bearkat Student Media.
Coming up, a broken pipe won't stop a popular food truck.
Not only does it serve food, but raises money for a good cause.
This could be any town in Texas. Friendly folk. Everyone knows everyone, including our doctor, when we have one. Out here, it's an hour drive just for a checkup. They say we're facing a shortage of doctors, and that's one thing our state can't afford. We're so deeply bound to our rural roots, it's hard to comprehend. That's why Sam Houston State University created its College of Osteopathic Medicine, to meet the healthcare needs of our rural communities and all who call Texas home. Better healthcare in our small towns is better for everyone. A new generation of physicians for Texans from a medical school that understands our Texas roots. Sam Houston State University, a great name in medicine.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
You're watching Bearkat Student Media News, a production of the Mass Communications Department at Sam Houston State University, only right here on Channel 7.
A crowning achievement for a couple Sam Houston State students. The 2024 Miss Sam Houston pageant recently took place in the Orange Ballroom inside the Lohman Student Center.
Bearkat Student Media's Jessica Maldonado attended the annual event, and she has more.
10 ladies danced their way into the annual Miss Sam Houston pageant in hopes one would take the coveted crown, along with the $1,500 prize and $300 towards their sponsoring organization. Categorized into 5 competitions, the crowd cheered on the contestants as they competed in health and fitness, spirit wear, evening wear, talent,
definitely the talent. Our students are extremely talented at Sam Houston, so that was really fun to see.
and finally, an on-stage interview. The ladies showcased their creativity and various talents, ranging from singing to dancing and more. Before the new title was announced, the former Miss Sam Houston and Miss Piney Woods took their final walks. The judges submitted their scores, and the night ended with the crowning of Miss Sam Houston 2024 Danielle Luna and Miss Piney Woods Alexia Pisano.
I'm so thankful and I'm so honored. You know, I don't know how to feel right now.
She's like one of my best friends. She helped me through a really tough time, so it makes me so happy to watch her win.
Our new Miss Sam Houston will move on to the Miss Texas competition this summer, where she'll represent Sam Houston State University. From the campus of Sam Houston State, Jessica Maldonado, Bearkat Student Media.
Filling out your FAFSA can be a struggle. If you need guidance or extra help, the FAFSA workshop is the right place for you. The workshop on the main campus is located in Academic Building 4, Room 204. With volunteers present to answer your questions and be of guidance, There is also a $100 scholarship awarded to a participant at the end of each workshop.
If you missed the last one, don't worry, there are still more dates listed and more chances for you to win a $100 scholarship. And if you don't live in Huntsville, another FAFSA workshop takes place at Sam Houston State's Woodland Center on February 21st in room 209. Doggone Vegan sits less than a mile away from campus, serving the community since 2022.
But after the recent winter storm, it ran into trouble. With more on this story, here's my co-anchor, Bearkat Student Media's Hunter King.
Patricia Norris wears multiple hats. She's a nurse practitioner for hospice most of the time.
As I traveled around in the rural areas, I saw a lot of dogs in distress. And it wasn't necessarily the elderly person's fault. You know, they barely had enough to eat. So the dogs didn't have food either. And so it kind of tied together, you know, that they were both living in impoverishment. And you can't just walk away.
Seeing this, she opened Doggone Vegan.
And I think we need to freeze the tomato soup.
Yeah, we'll freeze half the tomato soup too.
It's the only nonprofit fully vegan food truck in Huntsville with the goal of raising money to help animals in need.
I just helped an animal that was having her third litter, and she was only 3 years old. So I helped get her fixed. And we're trying to do something with the puppies, but the puppies are feral. So I go out every night, 6 o'clock, and feed them by hand, and I'm trying to domesticate them or get them used to humans.
But recently, things took a turn for the worst.
Breaking news and a record-breaking Arctic cold snap sweeping across much of the country.
When the Arctic blast hit Huntsville, 4 of the truck's pipes burst, and the plants that they use in their meals didn't make it through the bitter cold. Brittany Hissa, who manages the restaurant alongside Patricia, described what happened the morning she came in and the urgency to save the business from shutting down.
And they completely busted, and they replaced them with, it looks like steel. We haven't had any issues since. And then the second pipes that burst, one was under here. They came in the next morning, replaced those 2 parts, and I came back after that and turned the water on, expecting everything to be fine, and 2 more pipes burst from underneath the sinks. So again, it was a huge mess. I called Rose, and she sent somebody over here that day.
The leaks were fixed fast with the help of property owners, and business was somewhat back to normal.
You smell it? Yeah, it smells really good, yeah.
And throughout it all, both Patricia and Brittany launched a GoFundMe to bolster their mission.
You know, you either become a victim or a victimizer. And I decided to be neither. I decided to be an activist. I cannot stand to see a person or an animal suffer.
A small truck in a small town making a huge difference. Reporting from Huntsville, Texas, Hunter King, Channel 7 Bearkat Student Media News.
Still ahead, a world-renowned sports team visited Sam Houston.
Find out if they wowed the crowd on this action-packed night coming up.
And it'll be a mixed bag weather-wise this weekend. I'm forecaster Talia Harrell, and we'll let you know if you need to break out the umbrella in the next few days.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Good afternoon, Huntsville and Sam Houston State University students. I'm Talia Harrell with your local forecast. It's currently 68 degrees in Huntsville with sunny skies throughout the day. The humidity is at 41%, winds at 7 miles an hour with the feels like temperature at 66. Around the region, Centerville is at 66 degrees. College Station is a tick higher at 67. Groveton is now at 66 degrees. Livingston checks in at 67. Conroe also 67. And finally, Hardin checks in at 66. Statewide, El Paso is seeing a temperature of 67 degrees with sunny skies. In Lubbock, it's 68, while Dallas checks in at 66 degrees. San Antonio is a mild 65 degrees, and in Brownsville, it's a warmer 74. Around the nation, it's a chilly 37 degrees in New York, 43 in Chicago, and 75 down in Miami. Denver checks in at 50 degrees. Lastly, in LA, it's a cool 62 degrees. For tomorrow, we'll wake up to a temperature of 51 degrees in Huntsville. Sunrise will be at 7:03 a.m. with partly cloudy skies. Winds from the south at 3 miles an hour. Humidity will be at 0%. The 5-day forecast in Huntsville tomorrow. The high is 73 with a low of 59. Friday has a high of 67 with a low of 46 and a 42% chance of rain. Saturday, a high of 50. Sunday, 60 and sunny. And Monday has a high of 70 with a low of 52. That's it from the Bearkat Weather Center. I'm Talia Harrell. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Talia. It looks like it's going to warm up next week.
Yeah, can't wait for it. All right, well, a new Texas Roadhouse is set to spice up Huntsville's dining scene. The new restaurant is just off of I-45 at Veterans Memorial Parkway. The groundbreaking ceremony is scheduled this month. Currently, site clearing, leveling, and the installation of sewage and dirt work are in full swing.
As the project moves forward, the hiring process is on the horizon beginning mid-May. The plan is to recruit 250 workers, ensuring a fully staffed team for the new restaurant. Texas Roadhouse is preparing to introduce its signature flavor and comfortable atmosphere while providing a satisfying experience for local residents.
Well, we plan to spill the beans. The Josie Boy Scout Lodge recently held its 3rd annual chili cook-off. Dozens gathered on an overcast day in their tents to cook their signature chili for judges and attendees. The categories included veggie, traditional red, chili verde, and homestyle. It also included a youth division.
The winner in each category would move on to compete in more events for cash prizes. The International Chili Society, or ICS, sanctioned the event, which also includes sponsors from the local Huntsville community. The money raised from this event will pay for the upkeep renovation fund for the 90-year-old cabin.
Look, there's people that travel all over the country. I mean, this is it's a unique group of people that they go all over to cook, and they're all cooking for charity and all cooking for fun, and they all want to win, and they all want a chance to get the jacket and the big check.
Unique people with their own unique style of chili cooking for a good cause.
So whether you believe beans go in chili or not, you can donate to the lodge by visiting josiescoutlodge.org/support.
The men's and women's basketball teams had a tough time against Jacksonville State last week, and Conference USA released its 2024 football schedule. I'm Bearkat Student Media sportscaster Melissa Michailovich, and I'll have all your sports action coming up after the break.
Hey Bearcats, take your membership on the go by downloading the Sam Houston State University Alumni Cat app today. Not a member yet? Join the Sam Houston Alumni Association or renew in seconds to enjoy exclusive national benefits on dining, entertainment, and much more. Now that you're in, take some time to explore your exclusive member benefits. Read the latest edition of Heritage Magazine or find an alumni event near you. Click on our travel tile to sign up and explore the globe with our traveling Bearcats, or stay connected to alumni in your area as you take your membership everywhere. Come hang out with the Alumni Association as we tailgate some of the biggest games of the year by showing your alumni member card that is now in the palm of your hand. Download the SHSU Alumni Cat app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store, or visit shsu.edu/cat app. Eat 'em up, cats! As a boy, Lorenzo Baez's playground was the streets. When his grandfather suffered a heart attack, one nurse's act of kindness changed his life. Today, he is the first in his family to graduate college, and he's not done yet. He's on his way to becoming a doctor. Since 1879, we've been helping students like Lorenzo defy the odds. Sam Houston State University, a great name in education.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Melissa Michailevich with your Bearkat Student Media Sports. The SHSU men's basketball team took to the road against Jacksonville State Thursday. Unfortunately, the Bearkats couldn't overcome a slow start, losing 79-68 to the Gamecocks in Alabama on Thursday. Struggling defensively, Sam Houston allowed 40 first-half points, including 5 three-pointers. Cameron Hoofner led with 15 points, with Damon Nicholas Jr. and Lamar Wilkerson each chipped in 12 points. The Gamecocks took a 17-point lead headed into the half. In the second half, the Bearkats tried to claw back, but despite their efforts, Jacksonville State extended their lead from the free throw line. The loss dropped Sam Houston's record to 13-11 overall. The Bearkats will face FIU this week at home. Next up, Sam Houston State women's basketball. To Johnson Coliseum we go. The Lady Bearkats got off to a strong start in the first quarter against Jacksonville State and looked good all the way until the fourth quarter. In fact, they led by 10 points early in the final frame. In the last quarter, though, the Gamecocks went on a 14-3 run and held on from there, sending the Lady Bearkats to their 15th loss of the season and 8th in conference play. Final score, 58-56, Jacksonville State coming out on top. Shanti Henry led Sam Houston in scoring, pouring in 17 points. Cassidy Dixon chipped in a dozen. The Lady Bearkats took to the road the next 2 games. They're at FIU February 15th and at Liberty on the 17th. Conference USA recently released its 2024 football schedule. The Bearkats will play 12 games in all and will open on the road against Rice on August 31st. The first home game takes place September 14th when the Bearkats say aloha to the University of Hawaii. The first conference game is the following week, again at home, against the New Mexico State Aggies. Sam Houston will play its annual game at NRG on September 28th against Texas State, and they close out the regular season at home on November 30th when they face perennial powerhouse, Liberty. The Bearkat football team will have a new man to lead its defense. Head coach Casey Keeler announced Skylar Cassidy will take over defensive coordinator duties this upcoming season. Cassidy comes to SHSU after serving 2 years as DC at Abilene Christian. Before that, Cassidy coached outside linebackers at Texas Tech for 3 years as a defensive graduate assistant, on his way to receiving his master's degree in sports management. Cassidy is 29 years old, making him the youngest defensive coordinator in FBS. A lot of excitement on the field and on the court in the coming weeks. I'm Melissa Michailevich, and that's a wrap on sports.
All right, thanks, Melissa. Big things coming up in Bearkat sports.
Yeah, I can't wait for football season to start. Last Friday night, the Harlem Globetrotters captivated the Johnson Coliseum crowd with their exciting performance and left fans eager for more. The arena was alive with the Harlem Globetrotters' electrifying energy. With each dribble, pass, and trick shot, their performance had the audience's eyes glued to the court in anticipation for their next move.
Yeah, as the game unfolded, fans weren't just watching anymore. They became a part of the action, fueling the team with their cheers. It was a night filled with excitement and unforgettable moments where the boundary between the players and the fans blurred, creating a truly interactive experience for everyone. Man, I wish I would have gone to see that. That looks so fun.
We'll have to go next time. That'll do it for us this week at Bearkat Student Media News. I'm Fatima Purcell.
And I'm Hunter King. We'll see you right back here next week.